him because he is too African.
All right, now, is he your type?
No.
Okay, why not?
May I ask where you're from?
Yeah. I'm from South Sudan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm African, but honestly, I like Americanized African men. He's just a little too African. Not in any insulting way, honestly.
I'm not, surprised.
That's acceptable.
Not at all.
So, what made you say he's too African?
I think the strong facial features, yeah.
Okay. And which part of Africa are you from?
I'm half Kenyan, half Ghanaian, so I'm from the east of us.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, what's up? This is the Political Brown Kid, and I just did a video, and I don't know which one I'm going to release in which chronological order, but I just did a video talking about in vitro fertilization. I touched on the Jonathan Jacob Major or Maher story. He's the individual from, I don't know which country it is, but he has like 1,000 children. He's a serial donor that every woman wants his sperm. And he's the one, he's highly sought after as far as for conceiving from women. And not even just in sperm banks. People find him in sperm banks, and they find him online as well. So he donates in multiple ways through the sperm banks, and then he does things freelance. But the point that I'm making is this. When I did that video, when you look at white beauty standards, see, white people love themselves. White people actually love themselves. And even the things that they hate about themselves, they don't let you know that they hate themselves for it. So, for example, I told you all about that woman. I forget her name. She was an African slave that was caught and taken to Europe. She had a huge behind. And you know how black women's behinds are. They sit up. They don't sag down. They don't drag. You're not going to have a long back. Black women have nice behinds. And they took this black woman and they paraded her all through Africa. There was a guy, actually, when I talked about it, he put a comment in the comment section, and he put her name in that comment section. So I don't have that information on hand, but I do appreciate that individual for putting her name out there. But basically, what I'm saying is this. White women, after that, that's when you saw all the little white women wearing the hoop skirts trying to and they were making skirts, those little hoop skirts, if you ever see them back in like the old Western cowboy days, to make their hips seem wide and to make their buttocks sit up high. A white woman will never let you know that she's imitating you and that she's jealous of the features that you have, but they will imitate you. Same thing with the lips. They get injection into their lips and they call it the Paris lip. They're not going to call it the Nubian lip. They're not going to let you know that they're mocking you and trying to look like you, but this is what they do. And the same with Brazilian butt lifts. They call them the Brazilian butt lifts, even though we know a lot of the Brazilian women are black, but they call it the Brazilian butt lift because, of course, those Brazilians either probably don't readily identify as black, or it's easier to do that because they're in Brazil, and those are different looking black women, right? So these steal your look. They'll go outside and tan all day too, but they're not letting you know that they're doing it because they want to look like you. See, black people will go outside and they'll readily, they throw signals, I want to be white. You look at people like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson can tell you all that he told you. But his sister LaToya, and I remember being young, when his sister LaToya went on the Phil Donahue show, she said it. You can probably Google it and look it up, because LaToya Jackson, when she had her falling out with the family, she was, once again, married to a white guy, as all of the Jacksons are, married to white people. She went on television and told it all. And I think she said that it was Marlon Brando's son that used to drop off bleaching cream to the house for Michael Jackson. It was just boxes and boxes of bleaching cream. You look at what Little Kim has done to herself. I think they say Nicki Minaj has done it. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what they say. And you see a lot of black people, we will do things to look like Caucasians because we don't like ourselves. But what I'm saying is, when you look at the white beauty standard, when you look at all of the white magazines, if white people could still have it their way, if they could still do modeling in beauty magazines like Vogue and all of these magazines, Those magazines would have nothing but white women, tall, slim white women with no behinds. And I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong. I'm not taking a shot at them. I'm just showing you that this is how they're built. They're usually built tall, slim. They have this tall, slim nose. They have the long, slim faces. I'm talking about the models. And this is what their beauty standard is. When you look at movies and when you look at white people and when they cast beautiful people in movies, they're looking for an Aryan. They're looking for a milky white complexion. The person don't have to have a tan. They're looking for milky white complexion, blonde hair, blue eyes. That is their standard for beauty. When you look at a black person's standard for beauty, that black person's standard for beauty is somebody that is exotic, somebody that is mixed. I don't make this up. They're looking for somebody with curly hair, or hair that you can run a comb through. They can pass the comb test. They can pass the brown paper bag test, and also they have slender noses. I don't make this up. Black people's beauty standards, and that's not to say, I'm gonna say this too, because people want to equate all black people with wide noses, big lips, and things of that nature. But when you look at the continent of Africa, like Kenyans, they don't have wide noses. I think those are more or less like people like from Cameroon in Nigeria. I don't know. I'm not a historian on looks and genetics, but when you look at people from certain places, those looks, the looks vary. But I'm bringing that up for this is because when you look at this woman here in this video, she is from, I think she said she's half Nigerian, half, I forget whatever, the other, Ghanaian. And here she is talking about this man looks too African. She doesn't want a man that looks too African. Yet she probably has an African look, but she doesn't like herself. That's similar to when you see a lot of heavy-set women say, I don't want to date a heavy-set man. They don't like themselves, so what they want is they want to project the man that they want. They want to get someone who doesn't have the flaws that they have. And so this woman here, she didn't like this man probably because he's dark, because you can't say anything else about him. Like I said, he's from Kenya. You can look, he has a thin nose, he has thin jawline, he's slender, but yet she's saying she likes an American black. You know why? Because once again, American blacks are mongrels. We all are mongrels. We all have some diluted blood in us. And then when you ask an American black, what do they want? They want somebody that's mulatto. They want somebody lighter, or if they want somebody that's dark, because I'm gonna tell you, you can't be brown skin. Brown skin people are just normal black people. They get no love. You never hear a woman or a man oogle over a brown skinned black. You never hear them say, ooh, they so brown. Ooh, I like that almond complexion. You never hear that. They either want somebody that's light skinned or somebody that's dark. And I'm telling you, and in both of those scenarios, you have to have the right nose. You can have a black lips, because we like black lips, but you can't have a black nose, and you got to have a decent grain of hair, or you have to have your hair on point. And for women, what they mean by hair is you got to have a nice beard. A woman wants you with a nice beard. It's interesting how we look at each other, and that's the reason why I'm making this video, is because we literally hate each other. And I'm tying this in because I want y'all to go watch the video that I did on that documentary on Netflix, The Man with 1,000 Kids, that's featuring that dude Jonathan Jacob Mayer, because in that scenario, that's why you see more and more black people dating non-black people, because we are so integrated with the rest of the world. We're the only ones that look different. Asian people have the same skin complexion as white people. Their skin is even milkier, if depending upon what part of the region. If you're from China or Thailand, if you're from the Philippines, you got a little bit of darkness with you. But when you look at those other individuals, you look at Asians, they have the same skin color complexion as whites. They have the same hair texture as whites. When you look at Indians, they're dark, but they have the same hair type. You look at indigenous Americans, they were dark, but they've been lightened through the whole assimilation process. They have straight hair. Aborigines, they have straight hair. Samoans have straight hair. But when you look at the Nubians that come from particular regions, we don't. We're different. So that's why we long to chase after people that have a different grain of hair. And so when you start seeing these dating and selection processes occur, we're continually rejecting people that have our traditional look because we want to, quote unquote, better our genetics. And we're doing the same thing that the Puerto Ricans do. We're doing the same thing that the Dominicans do, which is what they say, better the race, lighten the race. That's what you see a lot of black people trying to do. And then you see black women doing it. Because it started with black men. Black men were doing it first. Hey, it's the first chance a black man could get, he was running trying to grab him a white woman. I want y'all to think about this. I think I just saw that, what's the guy's name? Nuri Muhammad. No, it's not Nuri Muhammad. Not Nuri Muhammad, but the other one. It's another Muslim guy. I forget his name. I think he just got married. I'm talking about Nuri Muhammad. I do believe that's the name. Nuri Muhammad. You look at his wife. She's a little caramel complected. Looks like maybe she can pass the comb test. Look at Riza Islam's wife. That's the one. No, I think that's the one I'm talking about. I don't even know what I said the first time. But when you look at both Nuri Muhammad's wife and Riza Islam's wife, and those are two brothers that I respect, I like. But when you look at their wives, they passed the brown paper bag and the comb test. You look at Muhammad Ali, you look at his wives, multiple wives. They all could pass the brown paper bag test and the comb test. I haven't seen Farrakhan's wife. I don't know, or I don't even know if he's married or not. I don't know, but I know he has a son. But the only person you can really kind of point to was Malcolm X, Betty Shabazz, brown-skinned sister. She couldn't pass the brown paper bag or the comb test. But what I'm basically pointing out to say is even your most militant blacks, your most true, your blacks that claim they're down for the people and down for the cause, even those black people, when you look at their spouse, they're like, yeah, I got a black woman, but she is very, very light. Or you can tell she's a mulatto, or she's definitely a mongrel. You can see her mongrelness coming out. I'm telling you. That's one of the reasons why too. I think in my other video I was talking about when I was making a video for the IVF on the in vitro fertilization, I was talking about Cam Newton and also Nick Cannon. I do not agree with those two guys because they're no better than the guy that with the 1,000 kids. They're no better. They're going around impregnating women, making a whole bunch of single moms. And, the women have a part to play in it too. But these men literally are just kind of like, I'm just here to create babies. And you have to ask yourself, especially in Nick Cannon's situation. Nick Cannon hosts about 9 shows. He has the MTV show. He has a show on ABC, CBS. I don't know. He's on so many different channels. He has so many different jobs. When do you have time to spend with your kids? Because your kids need to see you every day. You need to nurture and guide your kids. You need to be there. You calling your kids, telling them, hey, did you take your vitamins? Did you say your prayers? Take your vitamins? That doesn't cut it. Your kids need to see you every day. They need to see what daddy does, what a father is. Because you can tell a kid what to do, but they're going to follow what you do. They're not going to follow what you say. They're going to follow what you do. Trust me. They need to see that. And the reason why I'm pointing to Nick Cannon too is because I haven't seen Cam Newton's wives, but I can tell you this. Once again, Nick Cannon is one of those guys who thinks he's very pro-black and tries to act all pro-black, even though he was scared and backtracked when he started talking about the Hebrew Israelites and got in trouble like Kyrie Irving did. These are people that claim they're so pro-black, but they don't have any brown-skinned girls. You don't see them procreating with brown-skinned women. You do not. If they do procreate with a brown-skinned girl, she's probably going to be like Chili from TLC. She's going to have some straight hair. She's going to pass that comb test. She's going to pass one or the other. She either going to pass the comb test or she's going to pass the brown paper bag test. And I'm bringing all this up to say this is that when we look at ourselves and we don't have love for the way we look, that's when you're going to wind up with the genes of our people being wiped off the planet. Go watch my IVF video on how these men are now going to Africa to put their seeds in sperm banks, and all of these African women are requesting European sperm donors. I don't make this up. So I really want y'all to go over there, check that video out. But also, too, just kind of look at this and see that this is the self-hate that we have going on between us. But we hate the way our men look and we hate the way our women look. So hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button and also put a comment in the comment section. This is the Political Brown Kid. I'm out of here.